You think you know the 90s, the decade of flannel shirts, dial-up screeches, and Friends reruns? Let's peel back the neon curtain. Behind the frosted tips and slap bracelets are buried scandals, forgotten revolutions, and bizarre coincidences that still control your life today. This IS&T just nostalgic as a forensic autopsy of the decade that built our digital dystopia. Take the U.S. government, for example. In 1999, they declared war on a toy. Not a weapon, not a Gogeta fluffy robotic owl named Furby. The NSA feared its learning microchip was a Chinese spy tool. Agents dissected Furbies in secret labs, convinced they were recording classified conversations. Spoiler, they weren't. Furby's language was just 40 pre-programmed phrases. But this wasn't random paranoia, it was Cold War ghosts haunting a new era. Sound familiar? Today's TikTok bans and AI panic. Same playbook. But before we dissect Silicon Valley's birth certificates or Mandela's leaked CIA file, let's rewind to 1992. A time when texting didn't exist. A PARTHEID was collapsing and the internet weighed 10 pounds. Strappiness isn't your mom's 90s trivia. This is the untold story of how a single decade hacked to humanity's future. Let's start with Furby, the toy that terrified the Pentagon. In 1999, Tiger Electronics sold 40 million Furbies, each programmed to learn English from its owner. But the NSA saw a red flag. The microchip was made in China. Declassified reports revealed agents believed China had weaponized Furbies to eavesdrop on military bases. They even banned them from the Pentagon, CIA headquarters, and nuclear labs. But here's the kicker. Furby's learning was a sham. It just cycled through preset phrases like Furby hungry, Army love you, the Chinese spy theory, a baseless myth fueled by post-Cold War anxiety. Yet, this panic foreshadowed today's tech wars. In 2023, the U.S. banned TikTok over similar fears of data harvesting. History's lesson: when old powers fade, they see ghosts in every gadget. But Furby wasn't the only 90s tech that reshaped trust. Let's talk about the real spy tool, hiding in plain sight. The SIM card? In 1991, German engineer Giesecke de Vrink created the first SIM to secure mobile networks. But leaked documents show the NSA secretly lobbied for backdoor access. By 1996, a precursor to the 2013 Snowden revelations. The 90s didn't invent surveillance. They just made it pop. And what about the internet? In 1993, the White House launched WhiteGov, promising a new era of transparency. But by 1996, the Clinton administration was quietly drafting the Communications Decency Act, aiming to censor indecent content online. Sound familiar? Today, debate's over, TikTok bans in Section 230. Trace back to this 90s hypocrisy. Sell freedom, then build a backdoor. Now, let's rewind to December 3rd, 1992. They made $1 billion annually by 2001, all while claiming texts were free to transmit. But the untold hero, a Filipino engineer named Fried, in 1985, he arbitrarily set the 160, arguing it was enough for a postcard. His guess shaped Twitter, WhatsApp, and modern communication. Yet, Hildebrand died in 2016, barely credited. And here's the irony. The first text nearly failed. Papua Nokia couldn't receive messages. For months, texting was a one-way street. Imagine sending a Merry Christmas into the void. But persistence paid off. By 1997, Nokia Snake game made phones addictive, and texting became the gateway drug to our screen obsession. Shift gears to South Africa. February 11th, 1990. Nelson Mandela walked free after 27 years in prison. A moment broadcast globally, except in South Africa. The apartheid regime banned local coverage, fearing revolt. But a student-run pirate radio station, Radio Freedom, hacked the airwaves from a Johannesburg basement using smuggled equipment. They aired Mandela's speech live, dodging police raids. This wasn't just activism, it was the blueprint for today's decentralized media. The station's founder, Thandi Modise, later said, "We were the Wi-Fi of resistance. No towers, just courage." But Mandela's freedom wasn't goodwill. Leaked CIA files showed the U.S. labeled him a terrorist until 2008, fearing his socialist tie. His release came only after global boycotts crippled South Africa's economy. Even then, apartheid didn't truly end until 1994, proof that progress is never a single moment, just a series of messy battles. And here's a haunting parallel. In 2020, Belarusian activists used Telegram to organize protests, mirroring Radio Freedom's tactics. The tools change, but the fight stays the same. Now, let's debunk the 90s biggest scam, Y2K. Yes, the Millennium Bug was real. Older computers stored years as 2 digits, so 2000 would read as O, causing crashes. The irony, the same companies warning about Y2K had caused the problem. In the 1970s, IBM cut costs by using 2-digit years. By 1999, they charged clients $500 sour to fix it. A perfect racket. Create a problem, sell the solution. Repeat. Sound familiar? COVID, toilet paper hoarding, climate doom ads, taught corporations, panic pay. Finally, let's visit 1996 Stanford, where 2 students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, built Backrub, a search engine that tracked user data to rank sites. Their 1997 paper admits, "We'll know users better than they know themselves." But the original name wasn't Google. It was nearly the white box, until a typo on a $100,000 check cemented Google in history. Their big break. Yahoo's CEO, Tim Cook, laughed at their pitch in 1998, calling such a commodity. By 2004, Google's IPO minted billionaires and normalized data harvesting. Yet, the untold story is Google's first privacy scandal. In 1999, they secretly stored search queries for 18 months, sparking an FTC complaint. Brenda's message: if you're scared of data, don't use the internet. That arrogance birthed today's surveillance economy. And here's the twist. In 2023, Google erased "Don't be evil" from its code of conduct. The 90s dream died the moment data became currency. So, the 90s weren't just about Titanic and Dunkaroos. They were the lab where our digital dystopia was born. The toys they feared became the teen fad of texting became Twitter wars. The Y2K lie became climate doom. Every time you dismiss a privacy policy, every time you raid share a conspiracy theory, you're dancing to a tune written in the 90s. The decade taught corporations how to monetize fear, governments how to weaponize distrust, and all of us to trade liberty for convenience. But here's the good news. History doesn't repeat, people repeat it. Mandela's pirates taught us resistance is possible. Hildebrand's 160 character limit proves simplicity can change the world. So stay skeptical, stay curious, and remember, the future isn't written by tech giants. It's written by those who dare to rewind.